Greetings, everybody. Sorry, a little late today. Thank you for joining our meeting, where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested are welcome to join. We will first go to Felicia Chan. Hi, Felicia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have question. Thank you for your Dharma teaching.
Okay. Kok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. No questions at the moment. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, Kafai Lim.
Good day to you, Ajaan. I have no questions for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Alvin Lee from Malaysia also.
Good evening, Ajaan. I've got no question as well. Thanks.
Okay, Willie from Indonesia. Meshi, Willie.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any question. Thank you.
Okay. Your parents came by this morning. I think
Yes.
they're on their way back. They say leaving about midnight tonight on the plane to Indonesia from
Yes,
Bangkok.
Yeah.
To get there about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
They might be watching right now. I don't know. Okay. Next, Gary from Singapore.
Thank you.
Good evening, Ajaan. No questions for me. Thank you.
Question. Bruce Lee from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any question now. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, Ken, NG. Ken. Where are you from?
Hello, Ajaan.
Noisy on both ends, your end and my end. Have a lot of dogs barking right now. Ken, you have anything to say?
Oh, thank you, Ajaan. May I ask if for mindfulness training, can you please give some advice on our day-to-day for mindfulness training so we can apply? Thank
Can
you.
you turn off your background noise? Are you?
Oh, let me go somewhere more quiet.
Yeah, better.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes,
better now, better now. Can you repeat the question again, please?
So I was reading a Dhamma book about mindfulness. So I was thinking, how do I put on this practice on my day-to-day practice of mindfulness that I can apply right away? Thank you.
You have to focus your attention on what your body is doing all the
Watching my
time.
body, yes.
From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Just focus on what your body is doing, like walking, standing, sitting,
Yes.
eating, eating, taking a shower, dressing, or whatever you do. Just keep focusing on what you do, and don't let your mind go think about other things. This is what we call mindfulness. To stop the mind from wandering around while doing something at the same time. Like if you're listening to me, you should be focusing on just listening and not thinking about other things.
Yes.
If you can do this, when you meditate, you can sit and watch your breath, and your mind can become still, peaceful, and happy.
Yes, I understand.
That's the purpose. The goal is to meditate, but before you can meditate, you have to have mindfulness. strong enough to keep your mind watching your breath when you meditate. If you can do this, watching your breath and not thinking about other things, your mind can become peaceful and calm quite quickly.
Yes, I understand.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Matthew from DC, Washington.
Hi, Ajaan. Yeah, Emily's here too. She became China. But no questions from me today. Emily, do you have any questions?
Hi, Ajaan.
Hi, greeting. Haven't seen you for a while.
I know. Been at work, so haven't had the chance.
Yes, I know. The time probably not right either.
It's about when I start work
Yes.
in DC.
Mhm.
No questions. Just glad to be here for the first time in a while.
Okay, good to see you. Hope everything works out well for you. Okay.
Thank you. Hope things are well for you too.
Yeah, okay. Everything is fine here. Thank you. I'll go to Happy Hoodie. Happy Hoodie, where are you from?
First, again, I pay my respects to Ajaan. My name is Kiran. I'm from Bangalore, India.
Okay. Any question?
Yes, Ajaan. I wanted to know, say, for example, in a group meditation, if a person is sitting in front of us and we are meditating together, and if this person is able to enter into a jhana or nibbana, does this help the people meditating in front of that person?
No. It's like running in a group, you know. The strength of another person cannot transfer to another person. Okay, it's individual work. Actually, the preferred mode of meditation is to practice alone. But if you still haven't yet have that ability to do it alone, you might need a group to inspire you or to motivate you. But eventually you want to meditate alone because then no one will disturb you. See? If you meditate in a group, people around you can be disturbing sometimes. Right? Sometimes they cough, sometimes they move. So, but if you feel that you need the support of the group, then you do it. But eventually, you want to be able to do it on your own, because no one can transfer their power to another person. Even your teacher, even if he's sitting right in front of you, meditating with you, he cannot make your mind calm. Your mind will be calm because of your mindfulness, not because of the presence of your teacher. Like the Buddha said, you sit next to me, but if you're not mindful, you're not close to me, the Buddha said. But if you're far away from me and you're mindful, the Buddha said, you're close to me. So mindfulness is the key to your success. So you have to learn to develop or maintain mindfulness all the time, not just during meditation. You have to do it all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Next, Monica from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan.
Go ahead, can hear you well.
Okay, to join your session. Yeah, today I have a question. It's regarding this right mindfulness. We're supposed to focus, the third item is on the mind, which in Pali is the citta. May I know this mind, are we referring to the knower or the consciousness?
Yes, the same thing.
The consciousness, because consciousness I thought is the vijnana.
It depends on what do you mean. Sometimes it refers to the mind, the knower.
Okay.
Sometimes they refer to the vijnana, the consciousness that aware of the essential objects. But what is your question?
Okay, this one actually, I was doing the chanting on the analysis of the path and on the noble eightfold path lah. 8 noble fold paths. So under the right mindfulness, we are to focus on the body, then followed by the feelings, then after that the mind.
No. This is just theoretical. You don't do it all at the same time. It's one step after the next. You have to see this. You just don't get the essence of the practice. You get you're reading the map and you say, I can go from here to New York by just pointing your finger. And then from New York, I'll go to Seattle by just pointing your next finger. In practice, it takes a long time to get from one point to another point. See?
Okay.
So in real practice, it takes a long time for you to get from the body to feeling, from feeling to the mind. And before you can get to the feeling, you have to get to jhana first. And before you can get to jhana, you have to get to mindfulness first. And before you can get to mindfulness, you have to live in seclusion first. But it doesn't mention in the Satipatthana Sutta. It's in the text because sometimes it's presumed the listener already know because the Buddha was teaching someone like someone who is an ordained monk who have all this prerequisite. But for you're just starting from zero and you want to go to, starting from kindergarten and you want to go to a bachelor degree without going through your elementary and secondary level. So you're right now on the first level. You have to seek seclusion first, be alone, so you can fully practice mindfulness. So that when you meditate, you can get into jhana. Once you have jhana strong enough and maintain it for a long time, not just once, You have to do it for many months even, just to get the mind to be constantly calm and peaceful, whether you meditate or not meditate. Then you can then start investigating the nature of the body in order to let go of your fetters. So this is a long process. But when you read it, you thought, I can just start, mindfulness, watch the breath, then I'll start going to the body, to the feeling, and to the mind. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like looking at the map and say, okay, I'll go from here to there. But in actuality, before you can get from one point to the next, you have to make preparation. But you have to get out of your house first to catch a plane, right? And you have to get tickets, you have to have all sorts of preparation. So the practice is like this. So where are you now? Do you know where you are now?
So that means the mind actually the means we should have equanimity all the time. Then only we can go into the feelings, isn't it? Is it?
Then before you can study the nature of the body and let go of your fetters, your attachment, your view of the body as being yourself. Can you do that? Can you see your body isn't you? And you can leave it alone, whether it lives or not, whether it have food or not have food. You can let it be, leave it alone.
Yeah, still working at it. Sometimes okay, sometimes not okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the mind. The feeling, you can do it from time to time when it happens. Like when you get sick, you have painful feeling. Can you live with it? Can you leave it alone? Or you want to get rid of it? If you have any desire, then you're creating dukkha for your mind.
so this process actually it will actually develop over time, isn't it?
Well, it depends on your ability. The Buddha says some can do it 7 days, some can do it 7 months, some might take 7 years. Or even longer, maybe 7 lifetimes, who knows?
Yeah.
It's still better than forever, never get to anywhere. You know. Can you tell yourself, or can you see where your end point will be? 7 months, 7 years, 7 lifetimes, or eternity?
But I think at this moment, if for women we are not ordained, we are not in seclusion, it is, I think the obstacles are more, isn't it?
Well, you can make your home, you have 6 seclusion in your own home. Lock yourself up in your room and don't let anybody come in, and spend all your time there in your room.
Okay.
That's also one form of seclusion. See how long can you lock yourself up?
Yeah, I have to try that.
If you have strong mindfulness, if you have jhana, you can. You don't want to go anywhere if you have jhana. But if you cannot, it means your defilement is pushing you. Let's go out, go see something, hear something, eat something, drink something.
Yeah, I think I'm working at freeing myself from the entanglements. Only entanglements is not easy to let go.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very difficult to let go, really.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes your defilement is very smart. It tricks you to think that you are already somewhere, up there. But actually you're still crawling, not even walking. But you think you're running already. Because it sounds so easy, right? Body, feeling, mind. What's so hard about it? But you don't even know what body, feeling, or mind. What do you have to do with it, with them? You have to let go of your attachment to all of these things. You have to leave them alone. Let them come and go as they like.
So this one should be all throughout the whole day, isn't it? Day and night.
Well, if you want to first get into jhana, you have to stop your thought, stop thinking. So you have to develop or maintain mindfulness all the time.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
Next, Philip, and your son. What's his name?
Good evening, Ajaan.
Hello, Ajaan.
What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon. How old are you?
5.
5. Okay. You want to know anything?
No, thank you. I'm just listening.
Okay. What's your mom?
Ajaan, I'm here.
I see.
I'm
Okay.
holding.
All right. Okay. Good. Good practice to bring the children with you to participate in your Dhamma activity. This is the way to teach them, see, by doing, not by talking, but not by telling them, oh, you do this, you do that, and you yourself don't do it. Do as I say, but don't do as I do. That's not the way of teaching. You have to teach them, do as I do. Yeah.
Yes, Ajaan. I mean, during the night like this, when we're listening, he will be either somewhere beside there listening, and I think you'll be surprised at what they can absorb in. I mean, that day, I think a few months back, when I think the mother was feeling a bit of pain and things like that, he just mentioned his mother say, why not you just sit down and just say Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, it gets absorbed to them, so they can understand.
Yeah, but Dhamma is simple, really.
Yeah.
It's not complicated. It's talking about something that that we are talking about ourselves.
And he also likes to, he's been starting to meditate at night as well. So,
Good.
yeah,
Yeah,
before he sleeps.
Before he sleeps, yeah, for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, Putto. Close your eye and say Putto, Putto, Putto.
Yes, correct. Correct? Mm-hmm.
You feel good after that, after you do that?
Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Do you sleep better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Nanapat from Thailand, Ubon Ratchathani.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question ค่ะ Happy to listening in ค่ะ
Okay. Ubeka Alfredo from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Bante.
Sadhu.
I control my body, but the body not control, né, Bante? Sati is better in meditation, but in meditation not have control, né, Bante?
Control what?
Control the defilements.
Yes,
defilements.
If you have
defilements is like the sky, né, Bante?
No, your defilement comes with your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your defilement.
Yes.
Like if you don't think about food, then you won't get hungry. But as soon as you start to thinking about pizza, thinking about McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken, then you start to become hungry right away.
Yes.
So if you have mindfulness, you can stop your defilement, but unfortunately only temporarily. Because as soon as you start to think again, then your defilement can come up again. The only way to stop your defilement permanently is to use wisdom to see everything that you want to be anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes, the middle way.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
How's your tooth?
Okay. More. My best problem in dreams, Bante. I'm sleeping. Very bad dreams. I have said is normal, ne, Bante? It's normal, ne?
Your dream is an indication of what you have done in the past. If you have good dreams, it means you have done a lot of good karma. If you have bad dreams, it means you have done a lot of bad karma. You cannot change it.
Both. Good and bad dreams. Good and bad dreams.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So
no sati, ne, Bante? No sati in dream.
When you sleep, you cannot have sati. Because if you have sati, then you cannot go to sleep. You'll be awake. See?
Yes. Yes, Bante.
Okay. So when you sleep, you cannot control your thought, your dreams.
Yes.
It's your karma that will be the one to direct your thoughts, to think about good or bad things.
Yes.
So if you have bad dreams, it means it's your bad karma that's producing your bad dreams.
Yes.
If you have good dreams, it means your good karma produce your good dreams.
Yes.
So it's an indication of how much good or bad karma you have done. It will surface in your dream. The more bad dreams, I mean, you have a lot of bad karma. If you have more bad dreams than good dreams, then it means you have more bad karma than good karma. Vice versa.
Yes.
You cannot do anything. You can change it by when you wake up, try to do more good karma. Get up, do some charity, give some food, give something to somebody.
Yes.
And stop hurting other people. Then slowly your dreams will start to change. From having lots of bad dreams, you'll have less bad dreams and you'll have more good dreams.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Sati is more important.
Well, Sati is the one that will direct you to go and do good karma and stop you from doing bad karma.
Yes. Yes.
So Sati is very important. It's like a brake on your automobile, you know. You have to have a brake, right? When your car wants to stop, when you come to an intersection, you want to stop. If you don't have braking, then the car can go and crash with other cars.
Yes.
So if you have mindfulness, when you want to do something bad, you can stop it.
Yes.
And you can tell it to go and do something good instead.
Yes. The five khandhas.
Yes, the Sankara, yeah. The whole
Five khandhas is sunyata, Bante. One breath, two breath, one mind, one. The body is a agglomerate of things, ne, Bante?
Yes.
It's not a thing. Agglomerate. The thoughts too. Thoughts and body the same agglomerates of things.
Yeah, but they create good and bad karma.
Yes.
So what you want to do is to eliminate bad karma and do only good karma by having mindfulness and wisdom to direct their action.
Yes.
See, the five khandha is like an orchestra. You need a conductor, a good conductor, like wisdom and mindfulness. This is good conductor. Then the orchestra will play beautiful music for you to listen. If you have bad conductors, if you have avijja, ignorance and defilement, then it will create bad music for you to listen. You'll get stressed, you get restlessness and agitation, get anxiety, get worried, get angry. These are directed by your bad conductor. So you want to change your conductor. This is our business. We must replace the bad conductor with a good conductor.
Yes. I look for a big music, a beautiful music, Bante.
That's right. Jhana music.
For Jhana, Bante. For Jhana is difficult, but we try.
That's right. That's why we are here. We try.
Yes.
Okay. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. I'll go to someone else. Okay. Yobe from New York.
Good evening, brother.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yeah, one question today is, for example, when I do meditation, can I do a daytime, nighttime? It's whatever the time we can do it, right?
Anytime, whenever you have the time to do it. But you need a quiet environment where there will be no distraction to distract your meditation.
Oh, okay.
But if you cannot find good environment, you can still do it. Like if you're sitting on a bus, on a train or something, it might be noisy, but no one disturbs you. You can meditate, close your eyes and keep Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. You might not get the best result, but it's still better than not doing anything, not meditating. And let your mind wander and think and criticize that person next to you or criticizing the bus conductor and so forth.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Belinda, Singapore.
Ajaan, no questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sri and Jack from Vancouver. Well, you get up early. Last night you were about to go to bed right when I do the testing on the.
Yeah, somehow I always can catch you. Ajaan, another amazing
analogy connecting.
Yeah, you always expound like the Dhamma. You expound always like, wow, so many like so.
Everything in life you can use it as an analogy to Dhamma. Like the Buddha, when he talked to farmers, you're talking about farming. If talking to a craftsman, he'll talk about crafting. You can use anything to refer to Dhamma.
Wow. Because it's natural. It's already flowing naturally. Like so you can see Dhamma everywhere. It's like you can.
Yeah, once you understand the whole picture, then you can expound it anyway to make the listener understand. The whole purpose is to make the listener understand. So when you talk to a farmer, you don't talk about astrophysics. If you talk to a physicist, you don't talk about farming either. You talk to them about something they know, they understand. And you use that knowledge to compare to the Dhamma that you want to let them know.
Yeah, the Buddha and the noble disciple made the Dhamma really cool. It's like
if you study the sutta, you notice how the Buddha always use some analogy.
Yeah.
Relating to the profession of the listener.
Yeah, that's true. Even with the like the fire ascetic, he'll use fire. Like the fire sutta, they pray to the fire, I think, before they met the Buddha. And he uses the fire analogy.
That's right. Because it's easy for them to understand. They know what fire is like.
Yeah. But for us, we get to we're so blessed to get to experience it in now, it's like expounding Dhamma in a very cool way. You made it so cool. Ajahn, I listened to your previous some of the previous talk, and one person asked you like if they somebody is on the Sotapatti Magga and not yet Sotapatti Phala, can they break the precept? And you said that it's unlikely, but still, like maybe on very rare occasion, like if there's let's say mosquito, they might lose their mindfulness. But when you're on the Sotapatti Phala, your mindfulness will be quick enough to not break the precept anymore.
Yes.
Like,
it's not your mindfulness, it's your wisdom. To see the harm that will do to yourself when you hurt somebody else. It will come back to you like a boomerang. So when you do bad karma, you are like hitting yourself with a hammer, hitting your own self with a hammer, your head with a hammer. So you will never do it. But when you are still reaching that point, you still don't see the truth. So see, when you're on the path, you haven't yet reached the level that you want to get to. So you're working at it.
Yes.
But you haven't passed the examination yet. So you cannot get the degree yet. You have to pass the examination before you can get your degree. But you're near, you're about there now. Just keep studying and then take the examination, take the final. Once you pass the final, then you get the reward, the certificate.
So it's your wisdom that actually made you have that.
Yes, when you're on this level, you are developing purely wisdom with the support of samadhi and mindfulness that you have already developed to the full. But you don't have the wisdom to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta, or asubha. In case of food, seen as dirty, as being not delicious or not attractive. See, for you, when you see food, you say, it's good, look good, look inviting. But if you reach one level, you say, it's just all shit, all the time.
All the time. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're eating shit, you're producing shit. That's what you do, right?
Wow, but you can still eat it.
Well, you have to suspend that function when you eat. See? You have to forget shit for a while when you eat.
Wow.
When you have to eat, when the time you have to eat, if you think about shit, then you will not be able to eat all the time. This can happen sometimes with some practitioners. They overdo it. They overdose their own wisdom.
Oh. Oh.
I think there was a story in in the book Ajaan Mahabua wrote, I think in the Patipata, I'm not sure. When this man, she investigated the loathsomeness of food until the point where she can no longer eat the food. Every time she sees the food, it just looks to her as excrement. So I think they went to Ajaan Man or Ajaan Mahabua, I'm not sure, and asked for advice. He said, well, if it comes to that, when the time of eating, then you should suspend this investigation and use the other time of investigation. Look at food as being the four elements. And the four elements is replenishing the four elements in the body. When seeing that, then she can come back and eat. I'm just replenishing the four elements in my body. So there's a lot of tricks when you do wisdom, development of wisdom, because sometimes you can overdo it. And sometimes you don't know how to solve your dilemma. I'm developing good thing, but sometimes now it's hurting me instead of helping me. So you might have to change your tactic sometimes. Find some other way.
That's what the Buddha said, middle path, Ajahn.
Yeah, sometimes you overdo it to the extreme. Understand?
I think the other case is the one that they do the asubha until they are so sick of their own body.
On self, and they start killing themselves. I'm having this disgusting body. Why should I keep it? So I should get rid of this disgusting body. Then the Buddha said you have to practice loving kindness toward your own body. Sabbe, satta, everybody, you just have loving kindness toward everybody, not just other people's body, but your own body. You must not hurt your own body. See, this is how stupid people are. Something good taught by the Buddha can even turn into something bad for them. Because they don't know how to use it properly. Like a knife. If you give it to a child, they can use the knife to hurt themselves, himself or herself.
Yeah, true.
So you don't want to give knife to children. You have to wait for them to grow up. Same way, you don't use wisdom before they can have equanimity. If they have equanimity, they can at least control their emotion. Okay. Any question?
Yeah, Tan Ajahn, for one like practice like rupa jhana, meaning like the object that like his mindfulness is applied on is a form. That object we consider as a form object, right?
No, it's I'm not sure what they refer to the form is. Maybe it is, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't really matter to know. What to know is how to get there. Going in and not getting there, it's useless, right? They're not knowing it and getting there.
Yeah. So the one on the Magga means like the one will be practicing like the mindfulness and up to samadhi level.
Yes. Before you can go to the wisdom level or vipassana level. See, when vipassana level means for you to tackle the 10 fetters. We tackle the first one, the Sakayaditi, the view of self in the 5 khandhas.
Yeah.
There's no self in the 5 khandhas. They are natural phenomena. But since you take possession of it, you claim it to be you, belong to you, being you, your body, your feeling, your thoughts. They don't belong to you. They are natural work of nature. Sometimes you can control them, and sometimes you will not be able to control them. All right?
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya.
Okay. Next, Christine Coe. Where are you from, Christine? I've seen your name, I think, in the Q&A meeting, but not here.
Yes. Ajahn, good evening. Sadhu to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia, from Penang. Today is the second time that I come into Zoom. Last week I did came.
I see, okay. Any questions?
Yes, last week Ajahn said I have to practice Buddha all the time since when I get up and like such as brushing teeth or everything, including if I have free time when I'm working. So I try these few days and I found that my heart is more stable and I do not really thinking and lazy. So thank you so much for Ajahn guidance. And another thing is I try to meditate back and I feel that I really enjoy sleeping. I really enjoy sleeping. And last time, previously, I did always went to retreat in temple for 8 precepts. But these few years, I've been stopped. Before I stopped, I only realized that I enjoy sleeping so much. The laziness and the sleepiness so much. Previously, I do not know. When I was walking meditation, I also can feel I want to sleep. So this kind of laziness and how do I get rid of this kind of bad attitude?
You have to reduce your food intake. Eat less. Like don't eat after midday, for instance, or eat only once a day. Then you'll find that your stomach is empty and you will not feel sleepy when your stomach is empty. And you'll not feel lazy. But you have to be able to control your hunger. If you don't have enough mindfulness to control your hunger, then you go crazy, thinking about food. But if you have mindfulness like Bhutto, then you can stop your mind from thinking about food. Then you will not have any mental hunger. Only thing you have left are just the physical hunger, which is very small. compared to the mental hunger.
But Ajahn, at one time I was in Burma. I went to Burma to practice 8 precepts in temple as well, and I try to keep very well for my 8 precepts. And after noon, I do not take any food anymore. But I have a very strong gastric at that time. I almost very sick, and I was so worried that I might need to go to hospital again, because since childhood I always need to go hospital because of the gastric illness. So at that time, luckily I've been through, so I never admitted in Burma. So if this kind of scenario, is it advisable for me to practice this kind of lack of food as well?
Well, you can try a little bit at a time and see how your body react to this fasting. Maybe try once a week first, see how it's like. Like every observance day in Thailand, Thai people usually go to temple and keep their 8 precepts. You can keep the 8 precepts at home if you like.
Yeah, I never tried the 8 precept at home, but I used to go to local. I also used to go to Thai monastery, local Penang also last time. But after the meal, I took cheese or honey to avoid the hunger at night time, or drink a lot of water.
Well, see, that defeats the purpose of preventing you from being sleepy and lazy.
Yeah.
So then when you take cheese and honey, then you can feel sleepy and lazy again. So you might as well eat normally then. The purpose is to make you hungry, so then you don't feel sleepy. Normally when you have an empty stomach, you don't go to sleep on an empty stomach, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So is it because of the kilesa scared that get sick and suffer, so I keep on try to not avoid the hunger?
Well, sometimes it's your body that gets sick. So you first have to heal your body first. Then after the body is normal, then you can try to do it gradually, maybe once a week or something, and see how the body is reacting to this fasting. If it gets sick every time you fast, then maybe this method is not good for you.
Okay, I will try. Thank you.
Okay. Mikey, okay. I saw you yesterday, right? You gave food.
Yeah. Warm greetings, Ajahn. Mikey LKF from Singapore.
Yes, did you give food yesterday?
Yes, I did. Yes. On Sunday and Monday. Very happy to see you.
I see. Okay. You're back in Singapore now?
I'm back in Singapore. I've worked today.
I see. Okay. Sorry I didn't have much time to talk to you.
Yep.
We started to talk here now. We have lots of time.
Yep. You have a big crowd over there.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ajahn, you taught us generosity by giving dana and to uphold the 5 or 8 precepts, and also more importantly to practice mindfulness right from the time we wake up by reciting a mantra putta, or by observing body movements or activities.
Yes.
Then hopefully we can when we sit down to meditate, we can get into calm easily, hopefully samadhi or deep jhanas.
That's right.
And after emerging from jhanas, we should contemplate on the 3 characteristics of existence, namely anicca, dukkha, anatta.
If you can. If you cannot, then just maintain mindfulness. Continue to maintain
mindfulness. Okay.
Because sometimes your mind might be taken over by your defilement if you don't have mindfulness.
I see.
Instead of contemplating on the 3 characteristics, you might thinking about making money or going to on a holiday and things like that.
I see.
So then you should stop thinking and continue to maintain mindfulness.
Okay.
It means your mind is not calm enough or doesn't have enough equanimity to prevent your defilement to drag your mind away.
Okay.
But if you can observe the three characteristics, then you can go ahead and do it.
I see. Should I contemplate on the body parts?
Anything you like, any aspect of the body, anicca, impermanent, aging, sickness, and death, unpleasant, loathsome aspect, like the 32 parts of the body, or the 10 corpses.
Okay.
Or anatta, thinking the body is just a composition of the four elements. One day it will decompose and return back to the four elements.
Okay, I'll try it out.
But you have to do this continuously for as long as possible. Not just 1 or 2 minutes and then you say enough. That's not the point.
I see.
The point is to be able to maintain this knowledge all the time in your mind. Every time you think of a body, whether your own body or other people's body, you see these aspects. Anicca aspect, you see the loathsomeness aspect, you see the no-self aspect of the body.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. You're welcome. When you're coming back again?
Hopefully soon, maybe in end of the year.
I see.
Yeah, hope to see you again.
Okay. You haven't thought about staying in the monastery yet, huh?
Okay, I'll try to figure it out.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
All right, you're welcome. Yen So from Penang.
Hey, Ajaan. Good evening. Ajaan, when we pour the water.
Can you speak louder? I cannot hear you.
When we pour the water after.
Can you speak louder? Somehow you're not loud enough. Maybe you have to be closer to your microphone.
When we pour the water after transferring merit, right? What is the best way to manage the water?
You don't need to. Water is not necessary. It's just a symbol of your mind sharing the merit. But you don't have to use the water at all. Just use your thoughts, transferring this merit by just saying to yourself, I would like to dedicate this merit to this and that person. The water is just a symbol of merit transferring from one container to the other. You pour it from the bottle and put it into another container. But if you have to do this, not only in Thai, when you finish with the water, you pour it on a tree to give water to a plant. You don't throw the water away. You don't want to waste the water. You go to a tree and then pour it on the root.
So we can't drink the water.
If you like, that's no. But normally people don't do that. People just.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks.
They think it's something that I don't know why, but people don't drink in Thailand. They don't drink this water. They will pour it to a plant on a tree. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But if you don't have any water, you can still dedicate the merit by doing it mentally. That's why the merit is in your mind, and you have to say it in order to send the message to the receiver. Yeah, come and get it. When you tell the dog, come and get it.
Okay.
If you don't give the signal, then the dog won't come. So you have to send a signal to the spirit. Say, if you're waiting for this merit, here it is, come and get it. It's for you. Okay?
Got it, yeah. Got it, thank you.
All right. I'm from Bangkok, from Thailand.
Yes นมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์I did not come here for 2 weeks and I try to focus on the voice that happen and disappear because I like to listen to the present voice. So when I see anicang anatta of the voice, my mind cannot concentrate when there is some voice my ear or my will lose when I listen to anything that have some voice. So I try to make a focus on the voice and that occur and disappear. And I found that after I listen and come back after the voice has disappeared, I will focus on my breath. But I think it's not my mind is losing my like very schedule. But after I take samatha kammathan like bhavana putto or just a shouting word of play, I can focus more, but makes me an hour to have my complete focus.
Yes, it takes time. Sometimes because your mindfulness is not strong enough, your mind is still not under your control. So it keeps running around. So you have to practice more mindfulness before you meditate.
Mindfulness, practice mindfulness before meditate.
Like watching your body or reciting Bhutto Bhutto all the time. When you're doing something, just keep reciting Bhutto Bhutto Bhutto.
Or not need not to focus on other voice environments.
Right. Don't pay attention to anything.
Okay. But after I try to observe myself after I read books or documents, and I see that there have some voice in my brain and there have some other voice. I must to focus my understanding, but I see that my mind is losing and I just hear, but I cannot understand other people's state or environments. I hear and I see that the voice is coming to my thought, and then I read, and after that I come to another person and talk with. I see my brain and my focus is on another person's that read books or focus documents the same as me. I think it's about the sanya, but I must to hide myself and talk to another person. Hide myself away from that person who need to have focus on his or her work and talk with another persons. talk with the person who I would like to talk, by don't see her, don't see she.
Okay, is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Then we go to Evie from Indonesia. Evie,
Hello, Ajahn.
where have you been?
Yeah, I have not been.
You lost your way to this room?
Yeah.
Couldn't find a room?
I go to Malaysia, Ajahn, for 2 weeks.
Oh, you go sightseeing, huh?
Yeah. And I almost
You have to speak louder or closer to your microphone. You're quiet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and can Ajahn hear me?
Yeah, better.
When I go to Penang, I almost go to meet Ajahn King, but no opportunity because he has arrived to Terengganu, so I cannot join with him. So Ajahn, I have a question. Some people can attain the holiness stage without fully knowing about Sila.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They might not have the know how to chant the 5 precepts or anything like that. But in their heart, they know they don't want to hurt anybody. First.
So, does the Arahant must know and perfectly in Sila, or not necessarily?
No, from the Sotapanna, it's already perfect as far as the Sila is concerned.
Sotapanna must be perfectly in Sila.
Yeah.
And the Arahant, not necessary.
Well, same thing. And you keep the Sila from the stage of the Sotapanna all the way to the Anarahant. All these noble disciples, they don't break the precept.
So they don't have to read a book,
No,
open
they
the
don't.
book, the Sila.
They read the natural book. They read their own mind. You know, when they hurt someone, it hurt themselves.
Oh, so they don't need a book.
Yeah, they don't. They read their heart. They read their mind. When you hurt someone, you're hurting yourself, right? When you feel bad, right?
And how about if we don't like someone, Ajahn? Is that break the Sila too?
No, not yet. That's still in the mental state. Mental state, which a Sotapanna still have. A Sotapanna still like and dislike. So he or she has to work more to get rid of the like or dislike.
To get rid all the like and dislike.
It depends on the object. So,
but if we don't like that person, so what can we do? How can
you leave them alone. You leave them alone.
Okay lah. And Ajahn, in my meditation, even though I have entered the calm, but there is a gap, and it is very difficult to penetrate, to over the gap, and my mind is finally move again, and I back again, and because I have to start again from the beginning, and I have experienced this for many times. So is that called my meditation is fail in this session?
I wouldn't say a fail, but it's just not succeeding yet. You still have to work at it more. You're not getting to where you want to go yet. But if you keep trying, you'll get there sooner or later.
That is the gap. It's so difficult to get over, to jump over the gap, Ajahn.
Well, you have to keep trying. That's what Samaviriya is about.
Not a failure.
Right effort. The right effort is to keep on trying, keep on doing. No matter how many times you fail, you don't give up. You keep doing until you eventually get to where you want to go.
Until one time I can be success, yeah, Ajahn.
Yes.
That's right.
Where there is a will, there's a way. Yeah, let's keep trying. You can fail 100 times, but when you win one time, all this 100 times doesn't mean anything anymore.
Ajahn give me encouragement.
Well, this
The
is
good
the way you have to
encouragement.
think. This is the way you have to think.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
only need one win. You can lose 1,000 times,
Yeah,
but all
it's
you
true.
need is one win.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
Yeah,
can
that is
overtake all this 1,000 failure.
okay. Must go.
Erase this 1,000 failure by one win alone.
Yeah.
So just keep
Okay,
trying, okay?
just keep trying. Okay. Must put the right effort and
Yeah, right
this
effort.
right effort, huh?
Just keep doing it.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank
The
you.
Buddha said you can escape from dukkha by your right effort. Without your right effort, you'll not be able to escape from your suffering.
Yes, it's true, Ajahn.
Okay? No pain, no gain. Just remember this.
Yeah. Then Ajahn King said, practice make perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Sulan, always near the last.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, nice to see you again.
Okay, any question tonight?
Yeah, I have some questions. Let me refer to my question list.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I got two questions. In the Patimokkha rules, there is a rule that says hiding a bhikkhu's bowl, the robes, sitting cloth, or needle case or belt, either as a joke or with the purpose of annoying him, is a pachitya offense. So does it mean that being playful has its bad karma? And why is it an offense? This is my first question.
I cannot. Can you repeat the question again?
Oh, okay. In the Patimokkha rules, there is a rule that says hiding a bhikkhu's bowl, robe, sitting cloth, needle case, or belt as a joke or with the purpose of annoying him is a pachitya offense. So does it mean that being playful has its bad karma? And why is it an offense? So this is my first question.
Because you're a monk, you're supposed to be serious. You're not supposed to be playing around and hurting other people in the process.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
when you become a monk, you want to have perfect behavior. You don't want to do anything that will hurt or annoy or anything up to other people. Because you can get retaliation and you end up fighting and then you won't be a monk anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Because I noticed this is quite common when we are lay people, where we sometimes might play a joke on our friends in a harmless manner. So I was just wondering, like, why is it an offense, like in the Sangha community?
The monk has to behave better than the lay people in order for lay people to respect them.
Yeah.
If they're just like the lay people, then they won't be monks anymore, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Then my second question is that I came across this sutta called Sadaka Sutta. It is the story of the beauty queen, where the story goes like this: that a man who desires life and shrinking from death sees a beauty queen who is dancing and singing. Someone walks to him and says that he have to carry a bowl filled with oil to the brim and carry on his head then walk towards the beauty queen among the crowd. If he spill one drop, then a man with a raised sword will cut off his head. So I was just thinking that out of fear, he would certainly not dare to be distracted. And I saw that this is also being used as an analogy that we should be mindful and how we should train ourselves. So it seems to me that the motivation here to become mindful is because fear of death. That's why the man in the story would not dare to be distracted and be very mindful of the bowl of oil above him.
That's right. Because every time you lose mindfulness, you're prolonging more life, more rebirth. So if you're continuing to be mindful, you're cutting down your rebirth.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it seems a bit counterintuitive because the man is trying to be more mindful because he is scared to die. So that's why he makes himself very, very mindful so that he don't die.
That's right. It's like if you have to dismantle a bomb, can you not be mindful? If you are a bomb disposer, when you try to dismantle a bomb, can you just play around? You have to be very extremely mindful. If you miss one step, you can cause the bomb to explode, right?
Yeah.
Same thing like that. It just tries to stress the importance of being mindful.
Okay. So the motivation here would be different, right? Like in the story versus like being a practitioner. In the story, the person is scared to die. That's why we try to be mindful. But in our practice, it's because we want to be out of the samsara. That's why we practice. So is that the difference here?
No, actually, it wants to encourage you to go into an environment where you have to be very careful. If not, you can die from your being careless. Like if you live in the forest and you walk in the forest, if you don't watch your step, you might step on a snake.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes.
So,
That's why monks like to live in the forest, because it forces them to be mindful.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, because
You need a dangerous environment to force you to be more mindful than normal. If you walk in a shopping mall, you can let your mind go anywhere, right? Because you know you won't be stepping on a snake or anything like that.
Yes.
But if you walk in the forest, then you don't know what's ahead, what's in front of you. If you're not careful, you can be stepping on something that can bite back at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So for meditators, if you want to be serious and you want to advance, you want to seek environment like this dangerous environment. Like in the Thai forest tradition, the practitioner like to go where the tigers are. If they see a tiger path, see a tiger footstep, it forces them to be more careful, more mindful.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for explaining it. It really helps a lot because I was having this doubt and I couldn't really understand why. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Professor Ken, you're next. Yeah, you moved to a new place. The background is different.
Yes. Hello, Ajaan. I've just moved to my new place, new office. So
Better than your old one?
Yeah, it's much quieter. I have less responsibility. I gave up some things.
Is this in the university?
So it's in the same university, but a different town, different
Different
campus.
town. And does it belong to the university where you're staying?
Yeah, this office, but I'm also moving my private apartment where I live, be moving next week.
Oh.
So I'm sort of in the middle of moving around at the moment. And,
okay. Do you have anything to say?
It's a bit of a distraction, but after that it should be quieter. So that's the
You can be mindful doing all these things at the same time.
Yeah. Apart from that, Tanajan, I have no questions at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, good to see you.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Next is B. Ravin. You've been pushing back all the time. I'm not sure why.
I'm not so sure either, Tanajan. I joined, I think, just 10 minutes after 8, but
I know.
I don't know why it seems to happen.
The pictures seem to be moving back further and further. Other people's picture move upward before you.
That's quite strange. I never thought that that could happen.
Yes, it's
But
anatta. This is anatta.
Yeah. No self.
Not controllable. Not uncontrollable.
Yes, it's true. Tanajan, I have a question and observation. Actually, from our last conversation when I asked about fasting, I noticed that if I don't have dinner, I tend to be less sleepy. And it's actually the other way around. I mean, at first I thought that if I wouldn't eat, I would become restlessness, but I realized that the hunger is actually induced by the mind. We think that we want to eat, but actually we don't need to eat. So that's an observation I made from the past week or so.
Yes. So
I think I can conclude that if I would like to meditate for longer, I shouldn't do so just after eating, because I've noticed sometimes when I plan to meditate after a meal, I can get drowsy. But if I meditate when I'm a bit hungry, I tend to have more mindfulness. So that's the observation I made.
But it can also sometimes cause some restlessness or agitation. If you cannot control your thought on food. So you have to have some mindfulness enough to control your thought about thinking about food. But if you don't have this restlessness, then it's okay. Then maybe it's good for you.
Oh, I don't. Actually, because I've been mostly working from home, I tend to only eat 2 meals a day, because since I'm not going anywhere, I avoid having dinner. Otherwise, I might overeat. And I found that it's become a routine for me, and it's actually worked out quite well with my practice as well.
Good. So,
yep.
So you are now not eating dinner?
Yes, almost every day. Only if I go out and I exercise, then I might have some dinner. Otherwise, I just skip dinner altogether.
Good.
And I don't feel uncomfortable in any way. So now I understand why monks can take the preset of not eating after midday. I thought it was a challenge, but it actually isn't.
Yes. Once you do it, then there's no problem, right?
No. If I have enough mindfulness, I will actually even know that it's induced by the mind. When I see pictures of food, Yeah,
you can see that your hunger arising from your mind more than from
your
body.
From the body, yes.
Your body might have some sense of empty, but it's not as harmful as the thought on food.
Yeah, it's amplified by the mind. If I'm this hungry, the mind will tell me I'm this hungry. So that's something I learned.
Do you have any question?
Yeah, just one question. Ajaan, if someone tries to provoke us and sometimes we might react, this is because we cannot get rid of Sakayatiti, right? That's why we react.
It makes you fail the test. Either your mindfulness or wisdom is not enough. So you have to develop more mindfulness and wisdom. Try to think everybody as the work of nature, like the wind, the rain. You cannot control or force the wind or rain to rain or not to rain, right? So you cannot control people for them to be nice or be bad to you. They can come in any form. You just have to prepare yourself to accept all types of people, all types of action from people.
So we think of them as the weather.
That's right. And right now we have rain here. I cannot go and tell the rain, go away and stop. There's rain. But you tend to look at people as people instead of looking at as a work of nature. So you have to retrain your mind, your attitude, or your perspective. Look at everything as a work of nature, and you can not control them, force them, or tell them what to do. They can do whatever they like. You're on your own, on your end, you just prepare and not to react, that's all. Just to accept them for what they are.
So anatta, basically.
That's right, anatta. No self in anybody, your body or anybody's body. You can also be acting something that people don't like you to do, right?
Yes.
So see everything as the work of nature. Then you can use the veka to let it be.
Let it be, like the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Ajaan. I'll try to see people like the weather, see them as unpredictable, see them as uncontrollable. Yes. And then I will not have any expectations from them.
Yeah.
I will just, there it goes again. That's a good analogy, Ajaan. I will try that out.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
All right, you're welcome. Martina, where are you from?
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm from Indonesia.
Yes, can I help you?
I have a question. A few days ago, I saw this death, like light something. I want to know what should I do.
Can you repeat what you say again? Louder.
So a few days ago, I saw death. I feel like there is this beautiful light. I feel like it is the gate of death. I don't know, but the inside and the outside feels like very harmonious, and everything is very beautiful. So what should I do?
Just forget about it. Once it's gone, then you leave the past alone. Concentrate on the present.
Okay.
Whatever appears will disappear. So when they disappear, then you should just forget about it. They don't do anything for you anymore. They cannot do anything for you anymore.
So that is just a vision? Not important at all?
No, what's important is now. What do you do now? And what you want to do is to be mindful and to be calm and to stop thinking about the past or the future.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Okay, I think everybody has the chance to ask questions. Now it's time for questions from Facebook or YouTube.
Yes, we have 12 questions from Facebook and YouTube, Prajan. The first question is from C.G. Lim. Tanajan, thank you for your Dhamma teaching. May I know if I share Merlit after the morning and evening chanting, will all the people present and past and other beings be able to rejoice with the goodness of the chanting? Thank you for your kind explanation. Thank Sadhu.
I'm not sure whether you can share the merits from your chanting or not, because as far as the Buddha was concerned, he said, if you want to share merit, you do dana, you do charity. But he didn't say about sharing your merit from meditation or vipassana or anything like that.
And next question from Xiao Chang. Hi, Thanajan. Currently, I having retreat at Khao Chi On. May I know how to overcome my fear to snake? I have met with 2 snakes in 3 days, and this a bit affect my mind calmness. Thank you.
Well, if you already met them, then you know they don't hurt you. So why should you be afraid? They don't hurt you if you don't hurt them first. So be careful when you walk, that's all. When you see a snake, you just stand still and then it will not attack you.
Next questions from Yato. Namaste Ajahn. What is Asaraha Puja?
It's a day when we commemorate the day when the Buddha gave the first sutta of his life. The Buddha gave many sutta, but on tomorrow, which is Asaraha Puja, is the day when the Buddha gave his first Dhammatalk to the 5 ascetics. It's called the Dhammatalk Sutta, which he mentioned about the 4 noble truths in the Noble Eightfold Path.
Next questions from Tony Yap. Dear Thanajan, good evening. I often do food dana for Sangha community. Normally, I like to buy fruit for food dana, and mostly I will buy healthy food for Sangha community. Past few days ago, I bought avocado fruit from the fruit store. I used to buy it, but what happened when I bought the avocado? Is it not still ripe? So I just confirmed to fruit seller when the avocado will be ripe. He told will be 2 more days, but when times come to offer for Sangha community, it's still not ripe, so I do it too. My question is, can monks keep the fruit until it's ripe, only consume it? Is it break the Vinaya if the monk consume it? Thank you, Thanajan.
If you don't offer them directly, you have to live in the temple and tell one of the temple assistants that please offer this fruit for me when it's ripened. But if once the monk accepts something as food, he must relinquish it after midday. You cannot keep it and eat for tomorrow.
Next questions from Joy. Thanajan, can a lay person become Sotapanna without training meditation in the forest?
If you can let go of your fetters, the 3 fetters, especially the first one, Sakaya Ditti, if you can cut out the fetters of Sakaya Ditti, the view of the 5 khandha as being yourself, and also you're down in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and you're down in the law of karma. If you can do this, then you can become a Sotapanna. It doesn't matter whether you're a monk or non-monk or meditate or no meditate.
2 questions from Prasan. What layman can do in rain retreat? Do we need to follow 8 precepts on daily basis?
It depends on where you go to have the real retreat. They have rules you have to follow. If they require you to keep the 8 precepts, then you have to keep the 8 precepts. If they require you to do meditation, sitting and walking meditation, then you just have to do what they require you to do.
And the second question, can we follow the 8 precepts while we go outside for work?
Yes, if you like, you can keep the precept anywhere, anytime, if you can do it. But sometimes you might find it difficult when you're working.
Next question from God Winston. Can short meditation for every 5 minutes to 10 minutes of every waking hours help in one to die peaceful in time of death?
I don't know, you have to try it.
And next question from Kasem is quite a long question.ท่านอาจารย์, I would like to ask for your kind advice regarding a problem I'm facing. My wife is getting very angry with me and say that I am irresponsible. She has also hit me and threatened to destroy my future. I never tell harsh things or become violent. When she blames, I just keep silent, focusing on my body and breath, trying to maintain ubekha. But my silence makes her angrier. She also said that my mother is responsible for my shortcomings and say that she will harm my mother too. The wife also doesn't like my meditation and think it makes her more isolated. I am worried by her threat and think I should leave her and secretly go to live in a quiet place where I can practice Dhamma and care for my parents. I wonder whether it is a bad karma to escape from one wife like this. We don't have children, and I don't want to marry again. And the wife has a job and can take care of herself. I would be grateful for your kind advice. Thank you.
Well, the Buddha did the same thing. He left in the middle of the night, not telling anybody in the family. So there's nothing wrong doing that. If you want to leave, just leave. Don't let her know where you go because she can follow you.
And next questions from Michael. How can I feel euphoric all the time? Body sick of suffering. Thank you.
How do what?
How can I feel euphoric all the time?
Euphoric all the time.
Yes.
You have to be mindful, using mindfulness all the time. Be mindful all the time and meditation all the time. And you have euphoric all the time. Is that all?
3 more questions, Tanajan. Next question from God Winston. The goal of the practice is to have no thoughts at all when one departed from this world. Is this the correct practice?
Part of it. The goal is to have no defilement. And your defilement is just your thoughts. So you have to stop your thoughts first. But once you get rid of your defilement, then you can use your thoughts. Your thoughts will be harmless to you without the defilement.
2 questions from the multiversal unity. The first question is, what is the samadhi peacefulness level of the sanya vidayinda nirodha like?
Oh, you have to experience it yourself. It's indescribable. It has to be experienced.
And the last question is, do Arahant know they are Arahant and by how, sir? Thank you so much, sir.
By noticing that they don't have defilement anymore. They don't have any greed, hatred, or delusion. Okay, anybody else would like to ask some more questions? You're welcome to raise your hand and unmute the microphone. We have about 18 minutes left. So you're welcome.
Hello, Ajahn. Nice to meet you again.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question. Yeah. So Ajahn, I remember your analogy last week that the body is like a servant, and that it is anicca. Then I just wonder, like, Ajahn, do you remember how you look like, or are you only reminded of how you look like when you look into the mirror?
It depends. If you want to think, then you can still think about what you look like. But normally you don't think about the past when you practice. You stay focused on the present. But you can still think back of the past if you wanted to.
Okay.
You can control your thoughts. It's like you can control your remote control. You don't let your remote control control itself. You can switch the channel anytime you want. But if you're not able to control your thought, then your thought can be running all over the place. Going to the past, going to the future, back into the past again, back into the future again. But if you can control, then most of the time you'll be in the present.
Okay.
But if there's cause for you to go back to the past, you can go back to the past. If there's reason for you to think of the future, you can think of the future. But normally you don't go back to the past and the future. You stay in the present. Stay merely knowing and no thinking. Say only what you have to do, for instance. Oh, I have to get up, I have to go to the toilet, something like that.
Yeah.
But you don't worry about anything. If you think anything, if you think it makes you worry, you stop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I understand.
Can you do this with your thought? Can you control your thought? Not to worry about the future, not to hunger for the past, not to long for the past, which is already gone.
Well, right now the thoughts will control me, and unless I remember to do chanting. Yeah. Then when I chant, then I feel more grounded. Yeah. Like, but when I don't chant, then the thoughts will control me. So it feels like I have to keep chanting if I want to control it.
Yeah, eventually when your mindfulness is strong enough, you don't have to chant, you can stop it. Just your thought anytime you want without chanting. But right now your mindfulness is not strong, so you need to use chanting as a prop to your mindfulness.
Oh, okay. Then does it mean that only like when we reach a Sotapanna, then we are able to reach the stage where we can control our thoughts?
Partially, not all.
Oh.
A Sotapanna cannot still control the thought about sexual desire. Sotapanna can still keep the thought can keep thinking about sexual desire. So the Sotapanna has to stop this by contemplating on sukha. Every time there's a sexual desire, then a Sotapanna has to think of a sukha. Then it will stop this thought, this sexual desire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Evie, back again.
Thank you.
Evie.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have two questions. I heard Ajahn explanation earlier that a Sotapanna must overcome the Sakaya Ditti, regardless of whether he meditate or not. So my question is, can a person not meditating be able to overcome the Sakaya Ditti so as to attain Sotapanna? How can he throw away Sakaya Ditti when he doesn't meditate to look within himself until he attained the wisdom Panya?
That's because he already have developed samadhi, equanimity in his past lives. So when they have the teaching of the Buddha, he can then let go of the Sakaya Ditti. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have to meditate. It just means that he has already meditated. He has already developed equanimity.
But
so there's no need for him to meditate because equanimity alone cannot get rid of the Sakaya Ditti. You have to have wisdom. You have to see the body, the feeling as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
So the person which is blank person never meditate is impossible to
Impossible.
throw away.
It's just that you just don't know his history, that's all. So you think he's not meditating. Maybe he's not meditating in this lifetime, but he had already had it developed in his previous lifetime.
So he can attain to Sotapanna by
if someone told you about the five khandhas being anicca, dukkha, anatta.
And my second question is, may we ask the monk what the level has the monk reached, Ajahn, so that
You can ask them, but it depends on whether they want to tell you or not. Sometimes they'll ask you, sometimes they'll ask that question, what level do you have?
So because so that we don't have to guess anymore this, and also make us to have a faith to that monk and make us eager.
How do you know if he's not lying to you? Because he can be embarrassed. If he tells the truth, then I'm nobody.
Yeah, so because I never heard people ask a monk, what the level you reach? Because that is maybe forbidden question or not.
It's not forbidden, but it depends on the person who
the monk want to tell or not.
Also whether the person can benefit from his telling or not. So the Buddha had to tell people that he's the Buddha because no one know what a Buddha is. But then that can give room to people to deceive other people by telling I'm also a Buddha. So that's why monks try to not to say whether they are anything, because they could be accused of breaking one of the cardinal precepts, which telling that you are somebody when you are not. You can be disrobed if they can prove to you that you are lying. But how can people prove that you are lying? They cannot tell what you are right inside. You can only look at your body, and the body is all the same, right? So usually they use the other method of revealing themselves, like their behavior, their teaching, for instance. Or they rely on some other teacher to say, to be the one to advertise, to say, oh, this monk is good monk.
Yeah, we can feel.
Yeah, you have to. So it's not important to advertise, I am a Buddha, I am an Arahant. Because that can be falsifying, deceiving people, and can raise a lot of problems. If every monk say I'm a Buddha, what would you do?
Maybe half is belief, half is not belief. But if I don't believe, I scared I am make a sin for myself. So I was okay.
So it's better not for monks to stay what they are, right?
Yeah.
One way to learn whether a monk has achieved or attained by the teaching to you. If you follow the teaching and you can become enlightened, then you can pretty sure that this monk is enlightened also.
Yeah. we can
Right.
have a,
So this is the real way of proving whether a monk is enlightened or not, by applying the teaching to your practice. And you find that you can become enlightened by following the teaching. Then this monk must be enlightened.
I believe Ajaan Suchart is the enlightened monk.
You don't have to tell me that.
I believe
If
Ajaan
you
Suchart.
believe, you keep it inside.
Yeah. Yeah. My heart know.
I don't believe what you say. I don't believe what you say.
I believe Ajahn. I believe.
You can be misbelieving.
Yeah. And I also keep question myself when I can be like that. I can be enlightenment is someday in this life or in next life on in next life again.
It depends on your effort, on your effort. If you have 100% effort, you can achieve in this lifetime.
Must be a monk or not, Ajahn?
Doesn't matter as long as you practice the Noble Eightfold Path.
Is there a normal people, not a monk people, can attain the
Yes, it
enlightenment?
doesn't matter whether you're a monk or not. It matters whether you practice the Noble Eightfold Path or not. There are many monks in Thailand, they don't become enlightened because they don't practice the Noble Eightfold Path fully.
Actually, I don't know what is the Noble Eightfold Path. I just meditate. I don't know anymore.
You have to practice charity, dana 100%, give all your wealth away. Keep it not just for your existence. And keep the precept all the time, 100%. And then meditate 100%. Then you can become enlightened very soon.
I just do dana, keep my precept, and meditate every day. I
100%, not 100%. Not just every waking hour.
3 hours.
Every waking hour. From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, you do nothing but practice meditation.
And I do homework, do everything must knowing. Is that enough? Out from my meditate now.
If you can let go of your fetter, then it's enough. If you cannot, if you still cling to your fetter, then you cannot. Then it's not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let some other people else ask. If anybody else would like to ask any question? We have 5 minutes left. Belinda, you raise your hand. Finally.
I said, Ajahn, there were a lot of thoughts, and it was like so much that I have to gather to simplify the thoughts. I like to understand, like, there's this that I've been many retreats, and every time different retreats, sometimes the mind is very tricky. It would have defilement where sometimes we have this lurking, wanting to gain something from the retreat. Like during my first retreat, my very first retreat, I didn't have anything that it was a knowing that I would have to go. A knowing, and I didn't do any much research on that. It's just a knowing, and then there's no expectation of outcome. It was very pure. I just not knowing much, and I just went away. So I'm thinking right now, like if I were to go to visit Ajahn, and I question myself, what's my intention, and what it probably something I feel that if I were to see Ajahn, there's something that I want to get rid of, like get rid of, like stuck in somewhere. So there's something like I wanted to get rid.
So what is the difference? You're seeing me right now. You can get rid of whatever you want to get rid of. So to you, I'm not real to you right now, right? You have to see my real self, my real body. What's the difference? I'm alive and real right now to you.
Yes.
Except I'm not on in your house, so I'm on your screen.
Yes.
But what is the difference whether you see me in person or see me on the screen? It's the same thing, isn't it? It's your defilement wants to get out of the house, so finding an excuse to come to see me, so you can travel.
Not so much on that.
Not so much on that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're being deceived by your defilement.
Yes, I can't see it. I can be in any retreat, not necessary to visit Ajahn. But if I were to go for a retreat, there's something that I want to get rid. So I see it. But if I don't go, I'm still stuck. So like I'm in nowhere like that. So the defilement just playing tricks with us.
You can get rid of everything where you are, because it's not the location where you can get you want to get rid of. It's the thing in your side, yourself. And if you have the right Dhamma, you can get rid of all of it.
I remember you talked to Q and Dong. You told her that everybody knows that we have to practice self-love first. And to me, self-love is facing our defilement. And then the process is difficult. Like on the onset, it looks like we are suffering. But it's not easy to get into mindfulness because of a lot of block, attachment, and so forth. So it comes back to love attachment. I saw the news that there's a man who kept his wife's body for 21 years. He slept inside the wife's corpse. And I saw it was already quite recent that he let go of the body. So then I said, hey, Asubha doesn't work. But it's not about Asubha, it's sometimes about we form, like, I don't have my father's body with me, but there's still attachment. So and everybody has attachment with the kids, a parental attachment also. So at this moment, I think there's attachment to the sense of I. Like Ajahn say, we can do mindfulness here and now. This moment I talk to Ajahn, we can do mindfulness. But yet we are still blocked by the I, the inability to let things go. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Can Ajahn?
That's because you keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
So when you stop thinking about it, then you have automatically let go temporarily.
Yeah. So sometimes I thought I was okay, but it was just suppression. And sometimes I realize when I talk about my dad, sometimes I still tear when I talk to my friends about it. But ultimately, it's not really my father. It's about the sense of I, this me and I, and the defilement of dosa, and it's all the defilement that is trapping us.
It's all your thinking that keep generating all these stories. So you should stop thinking. Then then your mind will be blank, will be empty of stories.
So so I just say, let's say we want to prepare for a retreat. And if we know we have defilement, like we want to, there is some expectation or there's some fear, and and as a result, we can't see. And when we try to get into mindfulness, it's also like not easy in my own house. So now I just don't talk. I just come back to the body, right, Ajahn?
Yeah, just don't talk. Don't just stop thinking. Stop talking. Keep reciting mantra or chanting. Focus on what your body is doing, and then your mind will be empty, and you'll find peacefulness from this. You'll forget about everything temporarily. But as soon as you start to think again, then you start thinking about this and that again, and then everything returns.
Yeah, I distract myself with food, talking to friends, the usual distractions, the worldly distractions.
You have to stop thinking as much as possible. The less you think, the less suffering you will have. Because the suffering comes from your thinking. Thinking in the wrong way, thinking in the way of the defilement. But if you think in terms of the three characteristics of existence, then this is the right thinking, right thoughts. If you think about your father, your mother, your friends, your money, this is wrong thoughts. Because it will lead you to suffering, to mental issues. But if you cannot think in terms of the three characteristics, then you should stop thinking. And whenever you start to think, directly to think about anicca, dukkha, anatta.
So right now I can only plan now I'm talking to Ajaan, and tonight is a full moon, tomorrow is Asaha Puja. So I will focus to sleep. After which later, then the only thing that I could focus is the shortest nearest that is tomorrow's plan. If I think too far ahead, it's killing.
Yeah, try to think as narrow as possible. Think only when it is necessary to think. If it's not necessary to think, then you should stop. Okay, we're running out of time.
So tomorrow, Ajaan, I will do the Uposatha. The best to commemorate Buddha is, like you said, and also the best way to commemorate is to come back the mind.
Patibhati Bhuja, honoring the Buddha by practicing the Dhamma. Whatever level you can do, charity, morality, or meditation.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. All right, I think that's about it for tonight, for this session. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope you benefit from this and help you advance in your practice toward enlightenment. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if it all goes well, if everything goes well, I'll see you again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you for your teaching. Thank you,
Ajaan and everyone.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, admin. Good luck.